Stewy and Emery are in Vienna, Austria and Bratislava, Slovakia for days 8, 9, and 10 of our Gate 1 Kaleidoscope of Central Europe tour. After a morning tour of Budapest and a wonderful lunch, we traveled through the Austrian countryside toward the former center of the Habsburg Empire, Vienna, Austria. We checked into our hotel, the Hilton Vienna Park. After resting a bit, we had a quick dinner before our evening bus tour of Vienna. We ended at the Palais Börse for a lovely Mozart Strauss recital. The next morning, we enjoyed the Vienna city tour with our local guide. We explored the UNESCO Schönbrunn Palace and its wonderful gardens. Later that morning, we took the glory of the Habsburg Empress tour of the palace and the Imperial Treasury. Lunch was on our own, and we found a great Australian restaurant in Austria. And of course, Emery had to have the Ostrich burger. In the afternoon, we toured the Imperial Crypt, which is the main burial place for members of the House of Habsburg. Dinner was on our own, and we found a wonderful restaurant serving traditional Austrian food. And we spent the rest of the evening along the banks of the Danube River. The next morning, we boarded the bus for a short excursion to the neighboring city of Bratislava in Slovakia. After a guided walking tour of the historic city center, we were on our own for lunch and had pizza. What else? The evening found us in Vienna's Old Town, where we had dinner and drinks right next to St. Stephen's Cathedral. Join Stewy and Emery as we experience Vienna, Austria and Bratislava, Slovakia. Traveling northwest from Budapest to Vienna, we watched the Austrian countryside go by. The ride was a short 2.5 hours, covering 150 miles or 245 kilometers. We checked into our hotel, the Hilton Vienna Park, another nice 5-star hotel choice by Gate 1. The hotel is perfectly situated next to Stad Park and the Old Town City Center. After we settled in and rested, it was already time to get a quick dinner and board the bus for a nighttime city drive to the Palais Börse for the Wiener Börse Mozart recital.
Emery sharing this pizza.
Yeah, maybe. But we were in a big hurry because we're going to a Mozart concert. We have 20 minutes to eat. But what you do is you go, they have different stations, like here's the bar. They have pasta station, pizza station, salad station. And then they make it for you right in fresh, right there.
Freshly made.
Freshly made.
Even homemade pasta.
Yeah.
Everything.
Then you stick your card down on a reader thing, right, wherever you're at. And they put it on there and you pay at the end. And this place is called Vapiano. And oh, by the way, we are in Vienna, Austria.
There's a Mozart part, at least mostly Mozart, the first part. Then there is a short intermission where we have a glass of champagne or orange juice included. So let's take a look. Albert is slowing down for us. And then you can see the steeple of St. Stephen's, see? We see it also from our hotel. From our hotel is the same distance, just from the other direction, to the back of us. So the concert is supposed to start at 8:30. It's museum, and also on the left to the front, they look exactly like those buildings you will see. Is Museum of History of Nature, another museum on the left, Museum's Quarter for Modern Art. On the right, look, there is the entrance to the Imperial Winter Palace, the Heroes Gate.
We're going to a Mozart and Strauss concert in the old Stock Exchange building.
Okay.
So it should be pretty spectacular.
All right. What do we got? A program?
We have a program.
We enjoyed the performance by the Vienna Residence Orchestra, and the champagne during intermission was a nice touch. Breakfast was at 6:30 a.m. We've said it before and we'll say it again. We are continually amazed by the hotel breakfast buffets in Europe. We met Bridget, our local guide for the day, and headed out on our city tour of Vienna.
Good morning, everybody. Happy smiling faces. Wonderful. Welcome to Vienna. Welcome to our tour. Looking forward to our wonderful Sunday here in Vienna. Yeah.
First stop was the Schönbrunn Palace, which was the main summer residence of the Habsburg rulers. Schönbrunn, meaning beautiful spring, has its roots in an artesian well from which water was consumed by the court. The palace and its gardens were added to the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1996. The 1,441-room Baroque palace is one of the most important architectural, cultural, and historic monuments in the country. The gardens alone cover almost 400 acres. Back on the bus, we drove along the famous Ringstrasse.
The Museum of Natural History, in between the monument of Maria Theresa. We talked a lot about her in Schönbrunn Palace. And this Museum of Fine Arts was the one I mentioned already. If you are interested in visiting one museum in town, maybe Museum of Fine Arts would be the one. Athene, the Greek goddess of wisdom. The parliament is, by the way, also open to the public. They do guided tours inside. It's our city hall, left-hand side, town hall, neo-Gothic style. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to stop here at Burgtheater.
Yes, the folks.
We strolled along the beautiful gardens and enjoyed the perfect weather. You can pay an annual rent and give a rose bush to someone for a gift. Passing through the inner Burghof courtyard, we saw the monument to Emperor Franz I before reaching St. Michael's Square, a prominent and historically significant square in the heart of Vienna.
The Dome of St. Michael's, built in the end of the 19th century. Wow.
The square was once a crucial intersection in the Roman city of Vindobona, dating back to the 1st century AD. Unearthed remains of ancient Roman houses are visible in the center of the square. On our way to the entrance of the Habsburg Palace, our group was stopped at the Imperial stables for the Lipizzaner Stallions to pass by. What luck to get to see them out of their stables! They were heading for one of their world-famous Spanish riding school performances.
We're in the gift shop of the Habsburg Palace, which we're about to go into. You'll see the crown jewels, and they have jewelry that's like replicas of some of them that we are going to go see.
Cece, Elizabeth,
So
was the princess or queen. Was she princess or queen? Both.
First the princess,
That,
and then
and this is her favorites that I guess she wore.
We toured the Imperial Treasury, which offers a fascinating glimpse into over 1,000 years of European history and the power of the Habsburg dynasty. It's located in the oldest part of the Habsburg Palace. Lunch was on our own, and we found an Australian pub nearby. The menu had some interesting items, including an ostrich burger, which Emery just had to try.
And they also have a burger of the month. And the burger of the month from Australia is ostrich. So this will be interesting. At least it's not a koala burger, right? That's what's that. The beer of the month here. And we ordered still water, not sparkling.
It's chill.
Chilled, and Stewy got a wine, a Sauvignon Blanc, right?
So temperature in Vienna. This is April. Temperature in Vienna is 60. 50s and 60s.
But here in the shade, it's very comfortable. Our food came, and we're already full, right, Stewy?
And it's got things that no one knows. Chicken.
This is a chicken sandwich.
He got an ostrich.
Ostrich burger. Look how big your sandwich is.
Mayonnaise.
It's unreal. You know what? That actually looks like a schnitzel, chicken schnitzel.
Yeah, it does. There you go. There's a good shot.
I really can't describe it honestly. The go-to is tastes like chicken, but it doesn't taste like chicken. It doesn't taste like beef. So it's ostrich.
After lunch, our final tour for the day was the fascinating Imperial Crypt, also known as the Capuchin Crypt. It is the main burial site for members of the House of Habsburg and their successors. It is located beneath the Capuchin Church and Monastery close to the Habsburg Palace. We walked through the various vaults and admired the artistic coffins while learning about the history of the powerful Habsburg dynasty. Information panels provide details about the individuals buried in each sarcophagus. The most recent entombment was in October of 2023, and crypt space is now very limited. The crypt is cared for by a dozen resident friars who continue their traditional role as guardians and caretakers. Dinner was on our own this evening, and we ventured out with one of our fellow travelers, Paul. We couldn't believe we were hungry again, but we have been walking many miles every day on this tour. We headed into Old Town and had Austrian food for dinner.
Sit right there, Gutenberg.
Yeah. Good enough. Is that where we're going? I think it's a town somewhere, isn't it? In Germany or Austria, probably. So, Stewy, we're with Paul, one of our friends and tour mates on this Gate 1 cruise. Trip that we're on. Paul, where are you from?
Salinas, California.
You enjoying this trip?
Very much.
What's your favorite part?
My fellow tourists.
Good answer.
Like us.
Yes, yes.
It was very good. Service was good. Food was excellent.
Excellent.
The buildings look kind of modern here.
Well, that one is for sure. The burger. All right, so we made it down by the water. So we'll see what's down here. But it seems to be kind of a popular place. Wow.
After dinner, we found ourselves along the Danube River and decided that the waterfront looked inviting. With full tummies and a couple of drinks in us, it was time to get back to our hotel for a good night's sleep. Albert and Michael were ready to go, and it was a short 1-hour drive across the border to Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia. We met our local guide near the Most SNP Bridge, which crosses the Danube and has a distinctive structure on top. It's commonly known as the UFO Bridge. The structure houses a restaurant and an observation deck.
We are in Bratislava, going into Old Town. I got my shirt.
We toured Old Town and decided we needed to eat pizza. We found a great sidewalk restaurant and ordered.
He came and took our order, and what we really ordered is a pizza, and we were going to make our own custom pizza, but what we ordered turned out to be just a ham pizza with mushrooms instead. So,
Got a white wine, just because it's light and refreshing for a warm day, but it's actually, the weather's perfect.
In the shade.
Yeah,
It's very,
more
very
thirst quenching than red wine for right now.
right.
I like all wines.
But look at where we're at. This is unbelievable. It's just gorgeous here.
Very gorgeous here.
Our-
Cheers, everyone.
Our idea of an old town, right?
Enjoy our episode in Bratislava, Slovakia.
Here comes Boris with our pizza.
Hello, Stewy and Emery. Your pizza, please.
Of course, look at
Enjoy.
that.
Thank you, Boris.
Thank you.
All right, well, you saw Boris brought our pizza to us, and let me
Look at
tell
how
you, the
delicious
smell
it
is
is.
The
fantastic.
server Boris was
Look at
wonderful.
Stewy.
We told him he was going to be on our YouTube channel,
Yeah,
and we
look.
were surprised
Yeah, here
when we
we
went
are.
inside to see our channel on the big screen inside
That's
the
so
restaurant.
funny.
Thank you, Boris.
Thank you, Boris. We'll see you.
We decided to have a drink at the hotel before we crossed the bridge. It was a very nice experience as the sun was setting and the weather was perfect.
Stewy's having her red wine.
Cote de Rhone from France.
Cote de Rhone from France. And I'm having American Jack Daniels.
We came into Stephensplatz and saw St. Stephen's Cathedral all lit up. We had to stop and soak it all in. Of course, dinner and drinks were in order at this beautiful spot.
So as Stewy and Emery normally roll, we just wandered and kept pushing even though we wanted to go back to the hotel. And now we found the square
Look at our
and look at where we are sitting. Yeah, right there. It's a wonderful outdoor cafe. This is absolutely springtime, almost summertime for them. That's why everybody's out right now. This is really the first true weekend of spring weather for them. So, but our view is unbelievable where we're at. Hey, St. Peter's Basilica? No, got it wrong.
St. Stephen's
St.
Cathedral
Stephen's.
in Vienna. This is our view while we're having some drinks.
Hard to believe. Here we are.
Thanks for watching. Join us in Prague on our next episode.